We have joining us live from Ile-Ife, the OAU ASUU chairman, Dr. Adeola Egbedokun, for more on this development. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7.
Yeah.
A few days ago, the Academic Staff Union of Universities elongated the duration of the strike by another 3 months. And how exactly is ASUU reacting to this lingering issue?
All right, thank you. Good evening. Good evening to the viewers at home. I want to say thank you for inviting me on your program tonight. In the first instance, let me provide this information. We did not extend the rollover strike by 3 months. We extended it by 12 weeks.
Well, that's 3 months because there are 4 weeks in a month, sir.
Well, there is a difference between 3 months and 12 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Be that as it may, we actually did that on the basis of the fact that when we got
There's some issue with the connection from Dr.
next meeting in Abuja, President of Nigeria was not serious. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Dr. Egbedokun.
Okay, yeah. During the last 12 weeks when we were on the rolling strike, we were expecting, because what we did, why we also gave that rolling strike, was to give the government the opportunity to at least call ASUU to the negotiation table. Now, rather than for the government to have called us, they resorted into, a lot of blackmail through media, saying ASUU, they don't know why ASUU was on strike, and that everything they asked for, they have done it. Whereas the real issues, the main issue, the meat of the matter have not been addressed. And that is the issue of our renegotiated agreement, which has been submitted by the Mozali Committee since May 2021. This has been submitted to the office of the President of Nigeria through the office of the Minister of Education. But it took our government between May last year and May now for Mr. President to be appealing to Nigerian lecturers to go back to work. I think I must also say this, that my heart was bleeding. I was bleeding inside of me when I was listening to what Mr. President said just now, that we should go back. For Christ's sake, for crying out loud, this matter can be resolved in a matter of days. If the matter is resolved 1, 2, 3 days time, ASUU will go back to work.
All right.
Before we even go...
All right, Dr. Egbedokun, as it is, the ASUU national chairman mentioned that this issue can actually be resolved within 3 days if the willpower is there. And as it is, students have also joined in the call for government to do the needful, and as a matter of fact, for both parties to reach a compromise. But if you would recall that meeting between NANS and the leadership of the National Assembly, the president of the Senate mentioned that this agreement of 2009 is unrealistic and unimplementable. What's a reaction to that?
I think Mr. Lawan should tell us the part of that agreement of 2009 that is unimplementable. Is it about our salary that is not implementable? Is it the, what do we call it, revitalization fund that is not implementable? In fact, I was addressing the students in OAU today when they were having their protest. And I said, which we are also saying repeatedly, that the salary component of our agreement, which was agreed upon in 2009, was far, far, far better than what we are collecting today in terms of the value of the money and the amount that we are being paid today. As at then, a professor was collecting 455,000 naira. Today, a professor is collecting 416,000 naira. That is 1. 2. In terms of the value of 455 and 416, you will see a very wide gap. Are we saying that that is not implementable? Secondly, the issue of revitalization fund, which was put in 2012 at the cost of 1.3 trillion naira. And the government before this government released 200 billion naira as at that time. Ever since this present government got to power, they have not been able to release up to 100 billion of the revitalization fund. And don't also forget that when we did the needs assessment in 2012 and submitted the report said that Nigerian government would need 1.3 trillion naira. And government said they could not also release the entire money and broke it into 5, parts, okay? Meaning that for 5 years, they were going to pay each year 220 billion naira. If you look at that value, the value of 1.3 trillion naira as at then and compared to now, we are not talking about the same thing again. But ASUU is not even thinking about the differential in the value. We are talking in terms of the 220 billion naira per annum should be released. Okay?
All right.
Government is not releasing anything.
Well,
and we think as ASUU that even if government is unable to implement, they should have come back to the renegotiating table.
All right, let's hope that in the coming days, Dr. Egbedokun, that this plea of ASUU would be visited, because as you have mentioned that it appears finally now the presidency is stepping in, the students themselves are speaking up, and the labor union is also backing ASUU fully. So we hope that in the coming days this strike will be over and students will be back in their classrooms. ASUU Chairman OAU Chapter, Dr. Adeola Egbedokun, joined us from Ilaife. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7.
Thank you so much for having me.